Or scene one, I think this is probably one of my favorite scenes. So this is meeting back up with the witches. Remember, Macbeth was planning on visiting them again, and so now we kind of cut to that part. So they're in a cavern. In the middle is a cauldron, so they're casting a spell, and of course there's thunder, and enter the three witches.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed, thrice and once the hedge pig whined. Harpier cries, 'tis time, 'tis time. Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw. Toad, that under cold stone days and nights has 31, sweltered venom sleeping got, boil thou first in the charmed pot. Double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog.
So any witch-related movie or scary movie, I feel like I've seen this a lot. I know in Harry Potter as well. This reference, double, double toil and trouble, it comes from Macbeth. And same thing, I've heard of this. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat, tongue of dog. They're just casting this spell in anticipation of Macbeth coming to see them.
Adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing, for a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. Double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf of the ravined salt sea shark. Root of hemlock digged in the dark, liver of blaspheming Jew, gall of goat, and slips of yew silvered in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk and Tartar's lips, finger of birth-strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab, make the gruel thick and slab, and there too a tiger's chaudron for the ingredients of our cauldron. Double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Cool it with a baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good. Oh, well done, I commend your pains, and everyone shall share in the gains. And now about the cauldron sing, like elves and fairies in a ring, enchanting all that you put in.
So there's Hecate.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is't you do?
Okay, so first of all, by the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. It's ironic. The witches are supposed to be wicked, and yet look who walks in the door. Macbeth has become that evil character that we've talked about. Also remember that he's there looking for information or for a favor from the witches, that he's asking them for help. Typically, you wouldn't speak to someone that you're asking for help in this way, like you secret black and midnight hags. He's not being very complimentary. Again, he doesn't understand what he's doing or what he's saying. He doesn't see the damage that he's causing.
A deed without a name.
Ooh! Ah! Sorry. Where is it? Okay.
I conjure you, by that which you profess, however you come to know it, answer me. Though you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches, though the yesty waves confound and swallow navigation up, though bladed corn be lodged and trees blown down, though castles topple on their warders' heads, though palaces and pyramids do slope their heads to their foundations, Though the treasure of nature's germans tumble altogether, even till destruction sicken, answer me to what I ask you.
Speak.
Again, he's, pretty much demanding of them, which is probably not very smart.
Speak. Demand. Will answer. Say if thou'dst rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
So,
Pour in sow's blood that hath eaten her 9 pharaoh, grease that's sweaten from the murderer's gibbet throw into the flame. Come high or low, thyself and office deftly show.
again, Macbeth is too confident, too bold. So she says, would you rather hear it from us, your prophecies, or from our masters? Obviously, like the devil. And Macbeth, because he's so bold, says he would rather just hear it from the devil. So again, not probably the smartest thing in the world.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth,
Oh my God.
Beware, Macduff, beware the thane of Fife, dismiss me, enough.
It's hilarious. Okay, so apparitions are like ghosts or spirits that the witches have conjured up to show Macbeth. So rather than tell him his prophecies like they did last time, now it's these ghosts that are telling him his prophecies. So the first one says to beware Macduff. The thing is, Macbeth already knows that he can't trust Macduff. He already knows that Macduff doesn't like him. He didn't show up to his coronation or to the party after, so this isn't like earth-shattering, shocking information for him.
Whate'er thou art, for thy good caution, thanks. Thou hast harped my fear aright. But one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
So this second apparition, oh wait, I forgot to say this. The first apparition is an armed head. So this vision that pops up is a head with like a helmet on. Think like an army helmet. So then the second apparition is a bloody child.
Macbeth, Macbeth.
So ridiculous.
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold and resolute, laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Okay, so second one, the bloody child, says that no one born from a woman can hurt Macbeth. So if you're Macbeth and you hear this prophecy, you're feeling pretty good because you know that obviously everybody is born from a woman. That's how it works. And so you feel invincible. And remember, that's the whole thing that the witches said that they were going to do. They were going to make Macbeth think that he was secure when actually he's not. So, he feels good, but we know that it's probably more complicated than that.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance double sure, and take a bond of fate, thou shalt not live. That I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder.
Do we want to put this on?
All right, so then the third apparition is a child crowned with a tree in his hand. Notice there's a lot of like kids and children that are showing up in these visions. And think about why that is, right? It's a huge deal for Macbeth that he does not have a son.
What is this that rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the round and top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be lion-mettled, proud, and take no care who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be, until great Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
So this third apparition, the child crowned with a tree in his hand, says that Macbeth will never be vanquished, or Macbeth will never be killed, until great Burnham Wood goes up to Macbeth's castle, so goes up Dunsinane Hill. Macbeth's castle is on top of the hill. Let me see if I can... I was going to try to draw you a picture, but I can't. So just imagine like right here is the hill. Macbeth's castle is on top of the hill, and so the trees are down here, this forest, like right at the bottom of the hill, and so it's saying that Macbeth will not be killed until the trees move up the hill to the forest. Again, when Macbeth hears this, he feels pretty good, falsely, because he knows trees can't move up hills.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? Sweet boatmans, good, rebellious dead, rise never till the wood of Burnham rise, and our high-placed Macbeth shall live the lease of nature, pay his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me, if your art can tell so much, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know. Why sinks that cauldron? And what noise is this?
All right, again, Macbeth is too bold. He's cursing the witches, like, probably shouldn't do that. He says, if you don't tell me about Banquo's son, so Fleance being king, let a curse fall on you. And so then here's this last apparition.
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down! Thy crown does sear mine eyeballs, and thy hair, thou other gold-bound brow, is like the first. The third is like the former. Filthy hags! Why do you show me this? A fourth. Start, eyes. What, will the line stretch out to the crack of doom?
So this fourth apparition doesn't say anything, but it's a parade or line of 8 kings. And then the last is, like Banquo's at the very back. So this is supposed to represent Fleance, and then his son, and then his son, and then his son, and this like 8 generations worth of Banquo's family becoming king. So clearly, of all 4 apparitions, this is the one that is most disturbing for Macbeth. And also think about too, like the mirror in his hand is representing, showing Macbeth who he really is and what he's done.
Another yet, a 7th. I'll see no more, and yet the 8th appears, who bears a glass which shows me many more. And some I see that twofold balls and treble scepters carry. Horrible sight! Now I see 'tis true, for the blood-boltered Banquo smiles upon me, and points at them for his. What, is this so?
Aye, sir, all this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazedly? Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprites, and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to give a sound while you perform your antic round, that this great king may kindly say, our duties did his welcome pay.
Where are they? Gone. Let this pernicious hour stand aye accursed in the calendar. Come in, without there.
What your graces will?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them.
Okay, so this is hugely ironic. You know, the witches disappear. In comes Lennox, and he says, Macbeth says, you know, did you just see these witches? Lennox says no. And Macbeth says, infected be the air they ride, and damned all those that trust them. He doesn't get it, but he trusts them. So he's putting all of his faith and trust into what they tell him. So again, he feels safe, like, you know, until the forest moves to the castle, you're safe. Anybody born from a woman can't kill him, so he's falsely believing in what they've said, and so inadvertently he's damning himself.
You?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horse. Who was't came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my good lord.
Time thou anticipatest my dread exploits. The flighty purpose never is or took, unless the deed go with it. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand, and even now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool, this deed I will do before this purpose cool. But no more sights. Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me where they are.
So, Macbeth just learns that Macduff is over in England, and he says, the castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife. So Fife is where Macduff's castle is. Give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls. So, at first, when people read this, they think it means he's going to go kill Macduff, but he's not. He knows full well that Macduff is in England. That's what he's just heard. But he's still going to go to the castle in order to kill his wife, his children, and anybody else who's there. So, this majorly demonstrates how Macbeth has changed as a character, right? So, in the beginning of the play, the only people he's killing are his enemies. So, in battle, he's considered brave because he kills MacDonald. Then he takes a step further, and he finally is manipulated and convinced by Lady Macbeth to kill Duncan, and he does that and feels a huge amount of guilt and regrets it. But then, in order to maintain his sovereignty, he kills Banquo and tries to kill Fleance unsuccessfully. He also, don't forget, kills the guards and doesn't feel a lot of guilt about it. And now he's killing Macduff's family, not because they pose any direct threat to him, which is what everybody else that he's murdered has done, but he's solely doing it to hurt Macduff because he knows it's going to hurt Macduff and he's trying to get back at him. So he's like the ultimate selfish, like crazy character at this point. And that's the end of scene 1.